we're gonna let the guys finish this week. 25-30%. We're back on.
Okay, we're back in session.
Mr. President, I move that we accept the evaluation as we have put it together
Support.
with a highly effective ranking for
Sorry.
our superintendent. And I also move to extend this contract 1 year.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Wheaton, support by Ms. Martin to accept the evaluation as highly effective and add 1 year to his contract. Comments on discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. All right, we have one other item under other. Mr. Miners had requested a quick discussion regarding those that, how would this work of providing electronic board updates versus the packet. Me personally, I want to keep the packet because when I get home, I can take it and go wherever I'm going and I've got it in hand and do what I want with it. But are there others here that would be interested in having an electronic version of it where you can have it on your tablet or whatever media and then print it off at home and do what you wish? And what kind of impact would that be on the administrative side? To scan all that in?
We are already doing electronic packets for our internal part side of it.
Okay,
So there's a change in the email list.
okay.
I also wanted to add that I know that Lakeshore, sorry, I shouldn't say the name, the district to our north, uses a website called Board Book. And it essentially is for this purpose. I think you can include minutes on there as well. I think you can search multiple, topics, keywords, whatever, amongst multiple board updates, instead of having to sift through, packets.
There's a few different services that provide something similar that
Yeah.
are out there.
So I thought that might be something to analyze as well, if that's a possibility for the future. I just personally think that we don't, I think it's a lot of paper to use and it's overwhelming. I mean, if you wanted to look back on previous, there's a lot to go through. And I guess everyone's got their own preference, but I personally just think that we should be given the option to do either or. I understand the value in having the tactile kind of, right in front of you. But maybe it's just my age. I've grown up with everything moving to a digital medium. So I just wanted to bring it up because I think that it's a lot of paper to use, and I think it could be useful to have it digitally or electronically.
So I guess in your situation, you would then come here with an electronic device. You would be doing your part of the meeting from the.
Or I
device
can
rather-
print what I want.
Okay.
I think, yeah. I mean, that's. the
So
thing.
we would bring tablets then to the meetings, the computer.
Good,
We kind of think about that.
if you so choose. Me, I would be one that would want it, so I need to write a lot of things down as things go on.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
So me, I would prefer the paper, but for those that would be interested in the electronic copy or electronic version of it, then it sounds like we're already ready to go.
And I gotta believe Alyssa's sitting over there going, "Oh, please, please, please take the electronic, take the electronic."
Yeah, well, that's another thing. It sounds like
It's a big
an easier
undertaking,
thing for.
week after week after week to do that.
Now, what about all the attachments, all that would be scanned in as well? Sometimes we get some pretty thick.
It's already scanned in there.
Already done.
Yeah.
Everything you get, we have, mean, I don't carry it home. I could hard copy too, but I don't carry it home anymore because I can pull it up. It's just, and sometimes it's 3 different attachments. And, you know, if it's
Yeah, they're
really
not-
big, it might be 2 emails because if you can't pass it through 1 email, but that's not very often.
I will tell you as an attorney, it is one of the most difficult things to do is to give up on the paper. But I'm so glad that I have mostly given up on paper since COVID started. It forced me mostly to go paperless. I am storing far less than I ever did in my storage space. I'm hoping to reduce the square footage and save some money. And one of the things I store in my storage space are board minutes and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And over the last 28 years, I've accumulated quite a few of those.
I've been on the board for what, 2 years, 3 years? And I feel like, I feel like I need to buy some storage space. It's a lot of paper, you know, and I think that if it can be saved digitally and not have to have that space, then
Me, I keep the important stuff, you know, the minutes, the updates,
Few
and
supporting
some other,
materials.
and the rest of it I shred. I just,
Yeah.
I keep 2 years and bring back for destruction. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but one of the things I'm curious about is if people start having their things on their devices, is there any confidentiality issues? or-
potentially,
I mean, if everything's kept on a secure site and we sign disclosure saying we're not going to download it to a person, I mean, that's one thing. I don't know about the confidentiality ramifications. I can think that the confidential board packets for decision-making things, they're still going to have to be distributed like they are.
like your hearings, expulsion or disciplinary hearings.
Probably
and
just because of that redaction stuff, but
Attorney-client privilege type stuff.
So,
if you think about the weekly communication with the documents that we send or would be, you know, to deliver, it's, you are incorporating an email. If you're not using the district's email address, then you're implicating your personal email address to some degree with whatever somebody may want to bring up in terms of accessing, you know, those school-related material.
if your tablet gets stolen or your laptop gets stolen.
That's a problem.
It's like that, and I'm in a HIPAA world, so it's a little bit different,
Yeah.
but that's one of my
If you got
concerns with switching.
That's part of the reason the services are, you know, and they're a significant cost to doing the service where you're in effect, you're logging in, accessing things that way. It's a little different, right? A little different of the 2 versions.
And the paper gives me portability. I don't have to lug a laptop, or I can't sit there on a cell phone and look at this stuff because it's too small.
Yeah,
It's a pain.
for sure.
So that's why I like the packet. I can go out in the backyard in the spring, summer, fall, and I can sit in a chair and go through it.
And easily make notes and
Yes.
whole pages and whatever. Yeah, I'm the wrong person to ask because and then I'm concerned with the confidentiality aspect.
Okay. Well, I guess as far as getting the electronic version of it, work with administration, Ben, go for it.
yeah, so just email. I mean,
We can do that. We are, like I said, we already sent it to our staff that way. Changes every Friday.
Yeah, sometimes they have to be split into 2. Sometimes Alyssa will send the actual update separate from some of the supporting
30,
documents,
40 meg.
but it's
choke
not a
up
big
your
deal. So
internet
you get 2, you know,
It's not video, come on.
but I like it.
Oh, no, you
I'm
can-
with you, Ben. I
you
save
start
it by date and I can go back and.
You start
Yeah.
scanning in
I mean,
color
and I
Excel
personally,
spreadsheets, that
you
can
know,
get expensive.
I feel that having like a service that we've been talking about would be ideal for multiple reasons in terms of having it all consolidated, but also like Rob mentioned.
Secure.
Security, but if it's not practical in terms of how many people are gonna use it. So people that want paper versus people that don't, then I understand that. But, you know, I am in the camp of getting them electronically, and I will print what I want to print, you know.
Well, anybody else right now, then we can start this week, I mean, for Friday.
I think it too, I'm leaning in that direction.
Okay,
My assistant would be very happy if we went that way too. She's the one who gets everything to sort and put away. Sure. I mean, I've sorted it, just put it away, date order and all that.
Very good.
Yeah,
Questions answered? Cool.
it also would save someone from having to go deliver them too.
Mhm.
Mr. President,
Yes.
seeing no other business in front of us, I move to adjourn.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Martin, support by Mr. Curry to adjourn. Discussion on the motion. Everybody, thank you for being part of one hell of a year again. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you.
Same to you.
Everyone.
Happy holidays.
Thank you. Any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. We're adjourned at 10:01.